In our last video about fishing in Miami, we gave you a sneak peek into what a typical day out on the water in the Magic City looks like. Today, we're heading back down to take an even deeper look at everything this majestic city has to offer. From its inland canals all the way out into the Gulf Stream, Miami is full of opportunities for an amazing fishing trip. We'll talk about some of the best spots in the area to go fishing, top catches, the best ways to explore its waters, and more. After watching this video, you'll want to pack your things and come experience the magic of southern Florida for yourself. But before we begin, make sure you're hitting the like and subscribe buttons below to stay up on all the latest fishing videos. If it's your first time fishing in Miami, probably one of the first spots to show up on your radar is Biscayne Bay. The great thing about this area is that you can fish it any way you want. You can cast from shore on Key Biscayne, take a kayak onto the local flats, explore untouched mangroves on a boat, or have a local guide take you out to less accessible parts of the bay. However you do it, you can expect a day of phenomenal fishing with one of the most beautiful skylines behind you. Biscayne Bay is especially good if you're chasing tarpon. Shallow flats, mangroves, cuts, and channels provide an excellent habitat for Florida's Silver King. The best time to go after them is between May and July when they crowd the shallows of the bay in large numbers. If you're up for the challenge, Miami is the perfect place to test your skills. If you want to go fly fishing in Miami, they will definitely be a species you're going to want to keep an eye out for. Other top inshore catches in the bay include bonefish, permit, jack crevalle, and of course, snook. Snook are a staple in South Florida and are one of the toughest fish to battle, but also one of the most rewarding to catch. You can find them anywhere from the grassy flats to the sandy bottoms of the bay. Since they prefer warmer waters, snook fishing in Miami really starts to get going in the spring and peaks in the summer all the way until the late fall. If you're not a fan of the summer heat, but you'd like to still get some good angling action in, Miami night fishing trips are a great way to go fishing without baking in the sun. These are popular inshore trips, especially in the summer, where the main targets are usually snook and tarpon, but you can also encounter many others like jack crevalle and permit as well. Miami isn't all about saltwater fishing either. Head inland and check out the city's canals for some excellent freshwater fishing opportunities. You can catch everything from catfish to exotic and colorful species like peacock bass. Perhaps one of the most beautiful and interesting looking fish in Miami's canals, peacock bass is also one of the hardest fighting species of freshwater fish around. They're aggressive, tireless, and are even known to do some damage to fishing gear. But don't let this be the reason you shy away from them, because the feeling you get after reeling one in is worth it, trust us. Places like Snapper Creek and Tamiami Canal are prime locations for peacock bass fishing in Miami, with over 40 miles of waterway to explore. There are also plenty of small lakes and ponds that connect to the canal system that are worth checking out as well. Blue Lagoon is one of them and a top spot for both peacock and largemouth bass fishing. Peacock bass are most active during the summer months, while largemouth bass stay pretty active even during the colder periods of the year. This means that no matter when you head out, fishing in Miami's canals is great all year round. Some other great areas for fishing in Miami that are solid all year round are the hundreds of reefs and wrecks scattered along the seafloor. Reef fishing in Miami is synonymous with non-stop action. With such little waiting time between catches, this is a great way to keep the kids entertained on a fun family fishing trip. A hotspot that you're gonna wanna check out is the O.L. Bodenhammer Wreck, also known as the Liberty Ship Reef. It's located just about 2 miles off the coast and sits in around 400 feet of water, the perfect depth for a huge mix of fish. Various grouper and snapper species, as well as amberjack, barracuda, cobia, sharks, and many other fish inhabit these waters throughout the whole year. Another area to check out is Bat Shoal Reef. This reef needs no introduction, especially if you're into diving as much as you're into deep sea fishing. And because of the wide variety of species you can catch here, you can play around with different techniques from bottom fishing and trolling to spear fishing and kite fishing. You can expect to reel in trophy-sized grouper and snapper as well as king mackerel and of course, the most prized catch of them all, sailfish. Just a few miles off the coast of Miami Beach, you start to hit really deep waters. That means you don't have to go on some ridiculously long journey to start catching monster fish. The ocean floor starts to drastically slope at approximately 3 miles from the coastline. This steep drop-off is known by many anglers as the edge. It holds schools of baitfish, and with it, lots of hungry predators. Another key feature of deep sea fishing in Miami is the Gulf Stream. This warm water current serves as a fast-moving highway, funneling some of the Atlantic's largest game species right up along Miami's coast. The current changes its position depending on the time of year. During the colder months, the current can approach as close as 3 miles from shore, making the wintertime fantastic for deep sea fishing. This is a great time to target sailfish, for example. You can find a solid number of them prowling for baitfish between November and April. They hide in depths of about 100 to 200 feet deep, usually where there is an underwater ledge or drop-off close by. Their agility and speed make them a difficult target, but one of the most fun to catch. Other popular deep-sea catches include Mahi Mahi, Wahoo, marlin, and even swordfish. After watching so far, you're probably wondering what the best way to explore Miami's vast fishing scene is. Depending on where and how you want to fish, you'll have a number of options available to you. You can fish from the shore, licensed piers, a kayak, skiff, charter, you name it. As long as you have all the necessary licenses and permits, you're good to go. What makes saltwater charter fishing in Florida so great though is the fact that fishing licenses are always provided on board. All necessary bait and tackle are usually included in the trip as well. And what's more is that you'll have a knowledgeable captain or an entire crew, depending on how big the vessel is, at your disposal. All you have to do is download our mobile app or just head over to FishingBooker.com. Pick a date, search and compare charters, read reviews, get up-to-the-minute fishing reports, and book the charter that's right for you. Before you head out though, there are just a few things you need to keep in mind. Most importantly, remember that if you plan on fishing from shore, on a kayak, or in fresh water, you'll need to obtain a fishing license. However, as we mentioned less than a minute ago, if you're hopping on a saltwater fishing charter, your license will be provided on board. You can buy your Florida fishing license either online at gooutdoorsflorida.com, in person at a number of registered retailers throughout the state, or by calling the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. For more information on how to buy a Florida fishing license, be sure to check out our blog article where you'll get explanations of each licensing category, as well as full price breakdowns and much more. And last but certainly not least, make sure you're always paying attention to size and bag limits as well as seasonality. This applies to species such as red, black, and gag grouper who can only be caught during the state's open season. Red snapper, on the other hand, can be caught in state waters year-round, however federal waters have short seasons that typically only last 1 to 2 months during the summer. If you'll be targeting tarpon and snook, remember that they are both catch and release, with some exceptions to snook depending on where and what time of year you fish. Similarly, most billfish must also be immediately released back into the water. To stay up to date on all the latest rules and regulations in the state, be sure to check out the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission's website at myfwc.com. And when you're finally ready, FishingBooker is here to help make planning your trip a breeze. You can find a Miami fishing trip that's perfect for you and your family by downloading our app from Google Play or the App Store, or by simply visiting FishingBooker.com. With hundreds of local guides, verified reviews, and hassle-free online bookings, you'll save time and money and experience an exciting day on the water. So go ahead and download our app or visit us online and start planning your fishing adventure today.